Hi everyone. I'll be turning my camera on in a second and all that. How's everyone doing? Oh, you guys can probably barely hear me over the music. Alright, hi everyone. Let me switch over to the camera. So I actually have Kostya joining me in a couple of seconds. I kind of just wanted to hop on and let everyone know that it's in here, so that's exciting. I'm setting up a Zoom call with him right now. But anyway, how's everyone doing?
Light isn't available right now.
All right. How do you become a member? Just go to our chess.com page. Which let's see. Hold on. I think it's like that, and you can just join, and then just join our stuff as well. Yeah, Kosha, I'll get you in here. Give me a second. But anyway, how's everyone doing? Copy link invite. Alright, there's... The board will get fixed when the game start and I click onto multiple boards. It'll fix itself. Hold on. Oh man. Oh, there you are, Kostya.
Hey.
Hey. Gotta edit names and stuff. I don't even. I just need to do it. There's sketchy ways. Don't worry. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Congrats, by the way, on being a chess.com Coach of the Month.
Thanks.
Didn't even like mention anything on that. Did you?
I
I
did. I did. I sent a tweet.
Oh, I didn't see it. I must have missed it.
Yeah. That was cool. Of course, I knew about it ahead of time, so it was like
Right.
an interview. But um, yeah, it was cool.
That's awesome. Well deserved.
Thanks. So what's happening today?
Today we're just doing an arena, just 3+2, and then after that we're doing a half an hour blitz. Or bullet, pardon me. I tend to do an hour, but I've been getting very little sleep.
Half
so
hour is good.
so half hour is enough to work today.
Yeah, who
But,
needs more than half hour of bullet?
Right? Though that's all I've had time for recently.
Cool.
Yeah, that and puzzles.
Oh, well, at least you're getting something. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially, so like, I've been actually, since I haven't had time for, so two things that I always have, like a book that I'm reading, chess book, and obviously the app to do puzzles, so that's nice. Noah's Chess, I have not joined the arena. We're gonna be spectating games. I'm trying to fix a couple of things on the stream first, though. Oh no.
Yeah, let me know if you need any help with the stream or anything.
No, it's just like I can't. I have to. What do you call it? I have to edit your name over David's because it has David's information for some reason. Like you know where yeah, that's how Hoki made it. Was I think David was co-hosting with me once, so he just put his
Yeah.
information.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I have to put your name in a very sketchy fashion. But we work things out here.
That looks great. Fantastic.
It looks awful. Oh no,
I think it's
that's
edgy.
too small.
Good.
It's too small. All right, we're gonna go there. Can I make it like is Arial Black smaller or bigger? Oh no, Arial Black is bigger. All right, whatever. That's as good as it's gonna get for right now.
Oh, this is the font DM Hoki uses that you should get. It's a very good font.
Did you send it to me? That
Yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
But can I add it onto OBS?
Don't download it now. I mean, some OBS might have it. I don't know, but don't worry about it right now. But that's the one. That's the one to use. Dojo secret.
All right, I won't tell anyone. Top secret font. All right, that's gonna have to work, and then I have to add your camera too. We're really scuffed today, huh, everyone? But it's about to start in 2 seconds, so yeah, we have 10 players so far. I'm sure we'll get more. I have to see if that name's spelled correctly. Let me know. Did I spell your name correctly on there or no?
Yeah, it's good.
All right. We'll fix it. Let's see. But how you been otherwise? Are you still in St. Louis, by the way? I forgot.
I'm good. Yeah, it's the kind of halfway point of the tournament, 4 rounds in. So I've been very busy here, working the rounds during the day and covering them on like social media and stuff.
So are you announced? Like, how do you cover that? Like just on social media? Are you?
Yeah, I just watch like the broadcast, and then when something exciting happens, I tweet about it, and then I make like Instagram posts, and basically like I just post all the social media updates because Twitter is very busy during round time
Sure.
with stuff happening. And so like I'm the main guy that like lets everyone know like what's what's going on. So I have to find like highlights and stuff.
What account are you tweeting from?
Grand Chess Tour.
Grand Chess Tour.
Mm-hmm.
You want to plug it in
Yeah.
chat?
Yeah, shout out to the Grand Chess Tour.
There we go. Cool. So yeah, I think you saw the message that I sent. It was more meant for Charlie, but I broke 2,300 in puzzles.
Oh, nice.
Then I tilted and went back down. Not too long after that, but I actually got all the way up to 2,356 before I tilted, and now I'm like I think at 2,200. Let me see. No, I'm even lower than that right now. I'm at 2072. Yeah, full on tilt. Full on tilt. It also helps that I haven't been. Well, it doesn't help. It doesn't help that I haven't been sleeping. It's literally just been.
Yeah, I imagine the no sleep just kills you. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I would actually just take it easy.
I love puzzles. They're just a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, puzzles are good. Yeah, but I would say like don't like force yourself to do anything, or just do whatever you feel like is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so who are you watching?
We are watching Ignorant and Bob Nostum, 1,500 and 1,800.
Cool.
And honestly, the 1,500, which I think has a killer position right now.
Yeah, looking good for white, right?
Yeah. Looking very good for white.
So how would you continue here?
How would I continue? I think I would keep defenders on that pawn, at least to make him worry about it, at least. You have knights. Oh, he has two. I would try to go after one of the bishops as white as well. Since that bishop, oh, there it is. Okay.
But okay, managed to get the pawn back on f7.
Right.
So it kind of feels like white
is losing their advantage.
should have done more to hold on to their pawn, if possible. So I don't know if it was 98. Yeah, after 98, I think white has a very strong move there. If you want to go back and try to find it, do a little training.
98, yeah, I'm down. 98.
Gotta hold on to the pawn.
98. So black move to 98.
Yeah.
And tell me white has a very strong move here.
Flip it, yeah. So you see it from white's point of view.
Rook E8.
Yeah, rook E8, exactly.
Rook E8 is nice.
And then black is actually pinned two ways. Although, can still go knight takes f7, surprisingly. No. Knight takes
no,
f7.
you can't, because then you rook takes a8, bishop takes
a8 first, and then bishop takes f7. Yes, yeah, you get the piece. So yeah, rook e8 was the killer move white needed to find there.
Yeah, and white had time too.
Yeah, but see, this is the tricky thing about Blitz. It's like you're always tempted to just play quickly and just play. Okay, you see h3, like it looks good, right? You attack the bishop, normal move. Like, it's just so tempting. It's such a Blitz move. But of course, this was a moment where white needed to think, and he They should have felt justified because on knight d8, black spent 42 seconds.
Right.
That's like a long time. So you can spend a little bit of time too, right? If your opponent is going to burn that much.
Right.
Okay, well, white still ended up better. Extra pawn.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like actually 2 pawns and way ahead on the clock. So looking pretty good anyway.
Yeah.
So what would be your plan here as white to try to win?
I was gonna say at least threaten that knight earlier on, but now it's the threat's not. Actually, the threat's still there. You could go. No, you can't. Not really. Yeah. Now there you go. You can just push up your pawn, get the knight out of there, and that's checkmate.
Yeah, big problems on the 7th rank. So that's yeah, just attack the knight, like use the pawns, and now.
Well, it's no, it's still mate. It's still mate. Check with the. Yeah.
There we go. That's a good move.
That's yeah. There.
That's why extra piece is important.
Yeah.
Okay, good win. Okay, who are we watching?
Nice. All right, next let's go to a lot of new people, by the way.
Yeah.
On here, Death by Lactose, not a new person, and a Sad Cat. I'm not sure who that is. So this is roughly 1,300 rated players.
Okay.
It looks like we have. Well, can't tell you what this is. Oh, English, right? There we go.
Yeah. How do you evaluate this position?
This position, black is developed, white is not. That's the way I see it.
So you like black's position?
I do.
Yeah. Also, center is very strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The center is much stronger. One move away from connecting rooks, or 2, I should say. Yeah.
Knight b5. What would you do here?
Honestly, I don't think I'd mind the trade.
Mm-hmm.
Go a6. Then they'll probably trade. Move my take with queen and then castle.
Well, if you don't mind the trade, then you don't even have to encourage it. You could just, like, what would be a more useful move than a6?
Oh, okay. I wasn't trying. Okay, I guess I was trying to encourage it. A more useful move than a6.
Yeah. So this would be, of course, before bishop b6. Although bishop b6 also looks fine.
Sure. You could push the pawn up on e4.
Yeah, maybe.
Onto e4.
If you wanted to make this move, yeah, for example, that would make sense. Or like just castle, if you're going to castle anyway.
Okay.
And then, yeah, if you're okay with knight c7, then
yeah,
you could kind of wait. I also like what black did. So they spend a tempo to keep the bishop.
Sure.
But they kind of gained it back because they ended up playing a6, and then white had to just go back with their knight.
True. That is very true. That is very true. But now, I mean, I see. Interesting. Would you have gone with your bishop over there to g4, or would you have put your knight there?
Looks like a good score for the bishop. You know, knight's already developed. Bishop was on c8, and now black gets the rook to c8 like very actively. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Hey Alpha, I'm actually in St. Louis this week working the Sinkfield Cup. I've been coming here a lot lately. Actually, I was here for U.S. Senior and U.S. Junior champs, now Stinkfield Cup. So yeah, I'm doing their social media and recaps. So I have to like watch all the games carefully and then write about them afterwards in words.
So it's obvious that bishop on g4 is a good bishop, but would it be worth a trade to potentially get the king out a little bit and not necessarily out, but like unable to castle?
Yeah, like you definitely could consider bishop takes e2, especially if you had some very concrete follow up, like some queen coming into g4 check or like some knight d4 stuff. But I would probably keep it for the moment because knight on e2 is undefended, right? Or just defended by the king, which means that it was annoying for white that they're not able to castle there. You know, because bishop is putting pressure on the knight. Now
Sure.
knight is defended, so white can probably think about castling. But earlier it was very unpleasant just to kind of keep the tension. Kind of like, you know, threat is stronger than the execution
Right.
type of thing. No, I think black has played it fine. I think white has a tough position. And okay, grabs pawn on b7.
I don't.
Very, very greedy. And now black just plays e4.
Yeah, I don't love that pawn move.
Queen b2.
Queen b2.
Hey, thanks for subscribing.
Thank you for
Amanda.
this resub, Amanda.
So what would you do here?
As black,
Mm-hmm.
I would have threatened the queen potentially, just
Okay,
with the
look,
rook.
black found very nice plan. Like, couldn't put the knight on e5 because that square was attacked.
Right.
But really wanted to just goes rook e8, like improves the rook and gets the e5 square for the knight. So this is
Was that good?
yeah, for black here,
Was
it's all about attacking the weaknesses. Now this knight is going places, you know, d3, f3. It's
was rook
very
b8
problematic.
something to consider, or
What's that?
rook b8, was that something to consider or no?
I mean, it's like one tempo, but then it's like you got to figure out what to do from there. You know,
Oof.
this like black improves his pieces dramatically, and just like that, like totally winning. Like that's actually not surprising. This black's position with this knight on d3 is just totally dominating. Okay, now we'll see the technique.
Right. Let's see. All right. Trading a little bit. I don't agree with that at all. I mean, it's still totally winning, but
Yeah, it's just kind of unnecessary, but I can understand it.
simplifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially when you're low on time, you kind of just
Yeah.
want to reduce.
In bullet, I would do it, but in blitz with increment, I don't know.
Yeah.
There it is. All right, we got none too smart versus Boondock Striker. 1,000 versus 1,250 roughly.
Okay, cool. All right, who do you like here?
White. They're
Why is
already
that?
they're already castled. Black lost their dark squared bishop. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely white was better there. Two bishops, nice center. Again, big center, always good.
Right. Big center. Yeah.
But e5, black could have taken that, I think.
With the pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
one a pawn.
win a pawn, right? So
Yeah.
kind of mutual blindness from the players. C4. It still looks pretty good for whites. How to continue?
As black. As black.
No, for white.
Oh,
What's
for white. For
playing
white.
here?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And it kind of just seems like all of your developed pieces are pointing at the king side.
King side play, yeah.
King side play, and also getting your rooks to the open file. Rook e8, I don't think would be bad. You don't have to. You also have the benefit not having to worry about f2 as much, with the dark squared bishop gone.
Yeah. So where are we developing the bishop? Okay, you like bishop h6?
Yeah.
Bishop g5
h6
also good.
is
I would
nice.
say.
Yeah.
All right, queen f6.
Would I trade here? Or ask for it at least.
You want to trade with the more active pieces and safer king?
Is that a no?
Yeah, white's king is safer. Black's king is like, compromise, right? Dark squares.
Sure.
Actually, weren't you asking me about
Complex color or
color complex?
color
Exactly.
complex. Yeah. I haven't had a chance to. So apparently, chess.com has a whole series on it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a huge topic.
And I haven't had a chance to look through the videos because I asked you yesterday. But yeah.
Okay, but here you can see it. Black has big dark square weaknesses, right?
Sure.
And very importantly, like white has the bishop to attack them.
Alpha Canis Major. It's a color complex. It's apparently a pretty big deal. Chess.
Very fundamental topic.
Now, white. I think white doesn't necessarily. Yeah, there it is. That pawn. Drop that pawn. And now I think black is better.
Well, things are getting very sharp.
Well, not better. I think white is still better, but I think black is getting to the point where they could potentially change it up. That was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But now the bishop is more or less free.
Knight f6. So if black had taken on e4 there, white would take on d7 with the pawn. And then that would have been very dangerous for black's king.
Right.
So instead we get knight f6. So now black's king is still open, but the problem is white's pieces are hanging. So knight f6 actually I think was a very nice move.
So right now white can do bishop g. They should have checked with the bishop and won the queen.
Oh, bishop takes g6 white had. Yeah, very good. Very nicely spotted.
Yeah.
That was big only move.
Yeah.
But doesn't see it. Black ends up winning. Okay, next game.
I was so proud of myself. I was playing a bullet game and I set that up so I like set it up where I put a bishop. I think it was on d3 or something, and I put a pretty important piece for black to be able to take for free with the queen, and then they bit, and then I took the pawn right next or adjacent to the king, putting him in check, and they just resigned.
Great tactic. Yeah, you've always had good puzzles.
But like I wasn't so like I wasn't like that. I wasn't like yeah. Like, there's a difference between like finding a tactic, right, and setting one up, and like being able to set it up was a pretty cool feeling. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So student of the B and W jungle and the mandala.
Okay.
Who do I like better here? It's too early to tell, but white.
Yeah, white had these really strong pawns, but now queen e2. Queen e2 is a little weird for me because it's like blocking the bishop on f1.
Right.
But maybe white wants to castle.
Actually, queen b. Would be a cool move is queen b5, and if black doesn't see it, you could push the pawn up. I guess.
What happens if black does see it, Scott?
I don't know. We're going for if it doesn't. We play hope chess. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it could have been.
Yeah, that would have been bad. I mean, black just goes a6, right? Just hits the queen, or castles. Like so many ways to get out of a one-move threat,
Right. Fair.
Especially when it's just telegraphed. So. So directly. Yeah, castling queenside is much better there. At least it kind of justifies white's play. Okay, king b1, and now one day white can try to maybe attack on the king side here. But I don't really like what Amanda did. If you want to go back a couple moves.
Sure. By the way, I would take the pawn on e. Yeah, on d6. I would trade pawns at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Where do you want me to go?
Well, let's go back to move 6.
Okay. So e5.
Yeah, we go e5, right?
Cool.
Black has to play knight g8. The knight was like trapped.
Yeah.
If queen e7 pinning the pawn, then white goes like bishop e2 unpinning, and again the knight has to move anyway. So knight g8. So white's position has to be like really good here.
Right.
I mean, we have the center and like black's pieces are going backwards. So feels like we should have gone in much more than we kind of did, right? White plays knight f3. Knight f3 looks great. Bishop b4, then bishop d2. It's like a little slow, I would say. Like we have this open f file. We should use the open f file.
Right. So would you have done something on the lines of bishop g5?
Bishop g5 looks good. Also, what would you think about, like, how do we best utilize this f file?
The f file?
Mm-hmm.
By lining things up on it. So castle, kingside.
Well, we're on move 7. So how do we do that?
Oh, move 7?
Yeah, before bishop d2.
The only thing I could think of is, but it can get pushed back immediately, is moving up your knight and then putting your queen on f3. Something like that.
Okay, knight g5 is definitely a reasonable move, but let's just try to, develop here.
Okay. So c4, bishop c4.
Bishop c4, absolutely. Like you're not only developing the bishop to the best square, like attacking f7, right? Normally very weak in the opening. You're also opening up the rook to come to f1, and
right.
Next white can castle, and it's like the best king's gambit you've ever seen. It's basically king's gambit. I mean, it wasn't Well, actually, it was a Vienna opening,
Vienna.
so it's very
Yeah,
similar to
very
King's
similar.
Gambit. Here we can see kind of the strength of the Vienna, because sometimes you get beautiful King's Gambit positions, but then you have to proceed actively. So like Bishop C4, castles, Bishop G5, Knight G5, and it would have been like Puzzle Rush and 2 more moves, you know.
Sure.
So you're asking how to set up tactics. Well, you got to develop your pieces actively, right? That's kind of step number one.
Right.
Pieces go to active squares. Bishop C4, Rook to the open file, Bishop G5. Like, who cares if Black takes on C3, because White will just go BC and strengthen the center. It's kind of like nice for White, these double pawns.
Uh-huh.
So okay, I felt like that was maybe instructive moment, but let's go see what happened in the game. Okay, how do you evaluate things here?
What move are you on?
Live position.
Live position. I mean, White is up a piece.
Good. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean there is a threat on H1, and she's low on time. Didn't see
only
it.
problem is the time. Ooh, panicking a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely could have defended the rook.
And a free, yeah, pawn. And
I like A3. A3 is very practical, so you don't get back rank mated.
Sure. Right.
Now she gets the bishop off the back rank, so now she's starting to kind of consolidate a little bit. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be messy. All 3 results possible.
Definitely. She can't move that bishop away either.
Oh, look, enemy can move. No. Yeah, it's hard when you get down on time.
Yeah. Really hard.
Hey, thanks, Jake the Gamer.
Let's see. Oops. Let's go to Venk Chess versus Bizalowski.
Bizalowski. Come on.
Bizalowski there. Bizalowski.
All right. What's going on here?
All right, what's going on here? Fairly even, just up 1 pawn. White has a pass pawn that they're about to lose. He just lost it. Pawn. They both have. I mean, I guess the strongest pawn structure is the queen side for Black, and then the rest.
Okay, I'm gonna actually here. Let me just teach you how to evaluate these kinds of positions. So the most important factor here is the opposite color bishops.
Right. So it's drawish.
Well, that's one aspect, but that mainly applies to the endgame.
Right.
When you have heavy pieces on the board, especially queens, then opposite color bishops favor the attacker. So whoever has the more active bishop is usually preferred. So who has the better bishop here? And let's say safer king because of that.
White.
White, yeah. So white is definitely has been better pretty much this whole time. And even here, now that white like lost the pawn, I would say it doesn't matter. White is still better. Although probably he had better options. Like instead of, let's just go back a moment after he played G5. Black played queen takes B2.
What? Oh yeah, B2.
Let's flip it so we see it from White's point of view.
Cool. Black plays B2. Queen takes B2.
Yeah. And now, what would be a good active move here for White? Like
for
you're
White?
Just playing against, Black's king. You're trying to attack.
A good active move here would be. Oh, there's so much happening. I hear all the clicking. bishop d4, potentially.
I think bishop d4 is a really good Canada move. Now, unfortunately, it's probably concretely not great because black has queen c1 check and then queen takes g5. But let me just say bishop d4 is still the first move you want to look at here. Because you're like putting the bishop on a very active square. You're hitting black's queen. And if black didn't have this queen c1 check, white's next move would be what?
For when d4, bishop
Yeah,
d4.
after bishop d4, let's say black moves the queen somewhere that's not check. I'll let white one.
They'd probably line up the queen and the bishop.
Yeah, so lining up exactly. Queen e5, and then the dark squares are. So let's see what happened in the game. Actually, let's just slowly.
Yeah, that's exactly
looks like
what.
white got this construction. So yeah, even here, white is down 2 pawns, but is actually much better because the bishop is essentially it's like an extra piece, right? It's like white has an attacker on the dark squares,
Right.
and black does not have a defender. So white is just up a piece here and wins. Actually, very instructive game. Now black probably didn't have to walk into checkmate there, but
No.
it's kind of it's not too crazy. So well played.
I think here, in this check, I think I would. Can you put your queen? Would you go queen f7 as black here?
Well, then white can minimum just take the bishop on c8 and then
Oh.
actually have the extra.
Yeah.
piece.
So now.
You know, maybe there's something stronger, but if I'm in a time scramble, I'm probably just going to take the bishop and continue from there.
Right. Okay.
So very important to evaluate positions based on the factors, yeah, and then that kind of gives you a hint of what to do.
Sure.
If you have a safer king, you should play for the attack. If you have a better structure, you should be pounding on the structure. Okay, who are we watching now?
The Chess Falcon, and never mind, we're not watching them anymore.
Oh, Chess Falcon won.
Just resigned.
I think Chess Falcon signed up for our sub battle.
Cool.
So hopefully, yeah, we're on the list.
Let's go.
We're playing GM Hess, guys, on Sunday, 11 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. And we still need some players, so make sure to join if you can play.
Yeah. So let's go with Bank Chess and Ignorant. Yeah. Hi, Steve North. Just doing some Friday fight nights or Friday night fights. Oh my God, I can't talk. All right, here. Who do we like more?
We're training Scotty to evaluate positions.
That too. We're training Scotty to evaluate positions. That's a good move, I think.
Developing, usually good.
Yeah.
Although white is being very active here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think is going to be white's next move?
Check. So, no, that's. oh. Going
Knight
for
d5
it.
is nice, very active.
Knight
with
d5 is
tempo.
really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think d8 is only square, right? Or not only square.
Why is that the square? There's a reason.
Because I think there's the check with the bishop.
Knight c7. Okay,
Yeah.
but now how does white win?
How does white win?
Yeah, I'm assuming white is winning because it's like super active position. Okay, he played it. Just taking and breaking through.
Right.
Now, okay, that move is fine, but it might have been better to throw in rook e1 check first. Or another funny trick that you should be aware of after bishop d7, if you go back a move. You know, we have knight c7 check. We have this fork anyway.
Right.
Or we can, you know, switch up the move order and play queen takes rook and then knight c7 check. But I would say here that's actually cashing in a little bit too quickly. I like that white just took on d6 because he keeps all the threats in the position and you know, he can probably win more than the exchange if he plays his cards right. And just like that, bishop e6, knight c7, white is winning the queen. So well done not to capitalize too quickly. Although my feeling is he just saw he could take the pawn and he decided to. He didn't even see like knight c7. It's
Right,
just
right,
like
right.
queen is hanging, pawn is hanging. Queen
Yeah, I
takes.
mean, like, probably did a bunch of. He probably knew after being in this position a couple of times, like, oh, maybe this is available. Because that's usually how my games work out. Is, you know, I'm in the middle of a move and I'm like, and I do something. I'm like, oh, and then we're back in that same position more or less, and I'm like, oh, now I know it's there. But so do they at that point.
Yeah, so it can be helpful to
Repeat.
kind of practice the same openings. Yeah.
All right, let's see. I want to go to a fresh game. I want to like just started. Here we go. A Sad Cat and Egan.
Mm-hmm.
Eigen.
Yeah. Eigen.
All right, here we go. Cool.
Okay, so what would you do?
As white. Let's see. Who is better? White is better. Not as developed, but I like their pawn structure more. That looks like a fine move to me. What would I do next? You gotta take care of that. Oh, interesting.
Well, why is white better?
I mean, just I like their pawn structure more. That's kind of it, honestly. Like,
Exactly right. Pawn structure is much better for white.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't think that black has a huge lead in development to justify the pawn structure being what it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how would you continue here?
How would I continue here? What? So I would. I don't know if going after those pawns is a good idea, but I mean they're weak. Might as well. Obviously developing. I thought that would be number one is developing. You know, getting out your rooks. You know, you have a very tall pawn on c1 for some reason. Like you gotta give that guy some breathing room.
Gotta get the bishop out. So I don't like rook e3. That feels like a really odd move to me because the rook was already developed. White's problem is like bishop on c1, rook on a1, just not participating.
And this is easily defendable. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe even helping black.
Yeah, basically white needs to just get the bishop out. And white would have a nice position, but we'll see.
Oh, that's a good follow-up.
Yep. Now, what if bishop takes d2? What should white do there?
Bishop takes d2.
Mm-hmm.
What should white do if bishop takes d2?
Well, you can trade, but okay, there was a better move there.
For black?
For white, after bishop takes d2.
Oh, I haven't decided. I'm sorry. Bishop takes d2. takes d2. You could, you could put the knight on e5 or on e3, and then trade. But then you could do it after the trade. You could put your rook on d3.
Yeah, rook d3. Exactly. Double attack.
Yep.
After bishop takes d2, not before, because then you'd be blocking your own d pawn.
Right.
After would be nice. Okay, finally white gets the bishop out.
Yep.
Oh, but really low on time, so that's a problem.
Really long time.
Now, good thing you have 2-second increment. So far, actually, not so bad. Just got to make moves, just improve a piece. You know, take on c5 or
It ran
whatever,
out.
right? A safe move.
Yeah.
Just got to make moves. And unfortunately, we flag.
It's like my story of my
Very
life.
sad.
Flag.
Yeah, just got to move something at that point, but I know it's hard.
Right. That's cool. Let's we already saw a game with these people. A little spaghetti. Let's go to a little spaghetti and wonder omelet. 770 versus 1,000.
So who do you like here?
Black.
Yeah, that seems right.
We can just go to the next game.
Well, let's see the technique.
All right, let's see the technique. That's good.
Oh, a little frustrated there. Just needed to reroute the rook and would have been good. Now, good thing queen is defended because white has.
Oh, there it is. I mean,
He's
it's
lucky a queen is. No, why not just take the knight? Wow, look at this. You see this? Total psychological collapse.
What
At
is
15
going
seconds, could have
on?
just taken the knight. Unbelievable. Still winning though. So many pawns. Does this ever happen to you?
Where I'm on the winning side of this and lose.
Yeah, and you just like.
Very rare that
Totally.
something like this happens to me. Now, what happens to me often is I might be in the position like this as black and then just run out of time because I'm an idiot.
Oh no. Okay, now black was back on track. Figured it out. Just started pushing the pawns. Here, a3 at any moment is winning, right? Because the king just can't defend against 3 passed pawns
Sure.
too much,
Sure.
right? And the pawns just promote. So easy plan there. Yeah, a3. Okay, very exciting game.
Rooting for white for a second there at the end, you know.
But you see what happened? Black was just so totally winning and then just gets a little frustrated. And all of a sudden, game gets super complicated and playing too quickly. Yeah, that's common issue.
I did see that pin or the fork for a couple of moves. I was like,
Good.
I wonder if it's gonna happen. Wonder if it's gonna happen, and it happened.
Yeah, but shouldn't have been enough, of course.
No. I mean, at that point, yeah. All right, so Death by Lactose versus the Chess Falcon.
Okay, big matchup.
Hey, Jake, Gamer Play, or Play Street. Wait, Jake the Gamer Play Sit, whatever. Thank you for the cheers. Appreciate that.
Okay, so who's better and why?
This is difficult. White pawn structure.
You like the structure?
I like
Fair
the
enough.
structure. No, definitely white.
Now white, yeah. Black's queen side is collapsing. White has one weakness on f2, but it's well defended. So white's doing well. Okay, let's watch from white's point of view.
Oh, sure. Flip it
What
over.
would you do here?
As white, what would I do?
Yeah.
I Yeah, probably that, honestly. A stronger move may have been... No, I think that was almost necessary. Just take the pawn next. And now get your rook to b... No, I would have done rook b6.
Yeah, just got to push the pawns forward. Ooh, we lost one.
No, what are you doing? Other way. You can check. I think you have a check. Still loses, right?
Well, rook h7, white is still much better. But you can see a lot of panic there, yeah? Didn't have to lose both pawns.
Right.
Okay, now we won one. And yeah, look how fast white is playing. Rook g5, both players assume black can't trade rooks. But let's see what happens if black does trade rooks.
Oh, the king can't catch up.
King would just take the pawn on g5, right?
Yeah, it has the time. And
So,
and white has to go all the way around.
yeah, that would have been bad for white. So 1 minute is enough to avoid these kinds of mistakes usually. That's the tricky part of Blitz. Okay, looks like white was able to win more pawns and now is winning, but technique might be an issue. We'll see. Now, of course, this is completely winning endgame, but so far white is trying to just keep everything defended, and yeah, it's just going backwards. Look at this. No good. Very, very passive. King has to advance forward, of course.
Now I don't even know anymore. I mean,
And now white is lost. Although, actually, the pawn, pawn promoting, unbelievable. Wow, and white will have queen versus rook. Incredible. I mean, white just lost all composure, just said, you know what, I'm just going to close my eyes, push the h-pawn, loses everything, loses the rook, but still wins. So see how strong pushing pawns can be.
wow.
All right, now we'll see if white can win it. It's not an easy one, but
I mean,
it's also hard to defend.
It is. But black is in the corner, right?
Yeah, so that's definitely
A positive
good for white.
for
Yeah.
white.
White
That's
is
the
very
only
close.
thing I know about the position is that you want black in the corner.
Yeah. Okay, now at some point, white's king is going to have to step to
Forward.
h3. Because you
Probably
have
now.
to get the king involved.
Now, h3, now. That's a GG.
Yeah, now it would be good. Yeah, nice. Let's see, black's rook has no good checks. Sometimes there's some stalemate tricks, but usually it's best to avoid them. It's like king h1 here, for example. Yeah, clever move. And it's good white's thinking, okay. But you gotta make a move now. Yeah, that's as good a move as any to avoid stalemate. But it's gonna be hard now because now white is like, oh no, stalemate is a trick. Huh?
Should black keep his rook near or away from his own king? Probably near, right?
I mean, most players, yeah, try to keep it near because you're always worried you're gonna hang it, but the engine defends these things in insane ways where it'll put the rook on crazy squares and it can just calculate that there's no way to win it. But generally, you try to keep the rook close to the king because otherwise this happens. Oh, look at that. Well spotted. Well spotted.
All right. I think this is.
Yeah, Charlie, we can still do Dojo Bros on Wednesday. Actually, I think I should be available.
I'm sorry, I can't. I don't have childcare.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll do it with Charlie. Oh no. Unbelievable. So close.
See? Should have promoted to a rook.
Hadn't practiced. Should be able to do it on 2-second increment. That's very important.
Yeah, I pretty much have a calculation where I like, no matter what happens, I kind of just like, kind of try to take a step back, especially when there's like, when we're playing on like, and I'm super low on time, try to take a step back from the position and reorganize my pieces to a way that I'm comfortable with, and then attack. Just so I don't accidentally lose it. I know you don't like that.
No, that's fine. You just find a way to give mate as long as you do it on time. Like that's fine. So however you need to do it. But yeah, your goal should be to be able to do this and the rook checkmate with 2-second increments. Like
rook
5 seconds.
The rook checkmate doesn't even scare me. I'd rather have the rook checkmate than the queen checkmate. I told you this.
Well,
was a sack? I honestly think a sack on.
We'll see.
On H. Yeah, he should have sacked the piece right here. I think.
At which point?
Right now, like if you're looking at my screen, move 12.
Yeah.
Bishop H7. Thank you for the follow, Madden.
King takes.
King takes. All right. King takes. Think no. Does it not work? Might not work.
Unfortunately, there's no way to
Finish it.
bring all the pieces in. Yeah. Only one piece can use H5.
I know. It's a shame it wasn't on E4 instead of E5. Or you know what I'm saying, but yeah. Oh well.
No. So let's go to the live position.
Sure. All right. Who's better is your question.
Yeah, who's better and why?
White is up a piece for the exchange, I guess, and
No.
a pawn. I'd rather be up a piece.
No, what's the material?
Or what?
What's the material?
White is up a piece.
No.
I'm confused. White is not up a piece? Are we looking at the same game?
Yeah, Brennan, right?
Yeah. Brennan versus Venkchess.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the material?
Black has taken a pawn, a knight, and a rook. And white has taken 2 pawns, a bishop, and 2 knights.
Yeah, but what's the material that's left on the board?
Oh, okay. 2 rooks. Did you just want to tell you what the material is?
No. What's the material imbalance? What's the
Oh,
material
+2?
difference?
Is that what you want? Or...
No, in terms of pieces, what are the different pieces?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
Who's up?
who's up in pieces? Yeah.
In total material, including pawns.
Oh, okay. White is up. Am I
What
wrong?
is the specific difference?
Oh, bishops.
Well, what are you saying?
What do you mean? What am I seeing?
I don't understand. Like, Chad understands.
Yeah, I mean, like, are you talking about like black is up a rook and then?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's okay. Is that it?
No, black is up a rook, but what else?
But white is up 2 minor pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So white has 2 pieces
Yeah,
for the rook.
for the rook.
And what about the pawns?
White has an extra pawn.
Right. You were saying white has an extra piece. That doesn't really make sense.
Right. That's fair.
It's
Well,
like-
usually what I say is white. Like if it's the other way around, let's say that black had that, didn't. What I usually might say, white is up the exchange or down the exchange in this situation.
we got to be very specific because the exchange means rook for minor piece.
Right. Okay.
One
Gotcha.
minor piece.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Here white has 2 pieces
Right.
for the rook.
Okay.
Okay. Now, important question: which is more?
What do you mean? 2 minors versus?
Yeah, like who's actually up? Who's ahead?
In this position, Oh boy. Black now.
Now it's gonna be black. Yeah, but earlier it was white, like 2 pieces
That's what yeah.
and the pawn for the rook. But unfortunately, white got themselves pinned while we were arguing about the vocabulary. Yeah. So normally 2 pieces are better than the rook
Right.
because you can attack more squares.
Right.
So to compensate, the rook needs pawns. So if the rook has 1 or 2 pawns, then the rook can sometimes be of equal value, but more importantly, it's about the activity.
Right.
Here, actually, I would say white is still better because,
Really?
yeah, because now he has bishop, 3 pawns for the rook. So materially, he's fine. Okay, he missed easy win there.
White did or black?
White did. Maybe you can spot it.
Sure.
Couple
What
moves ago.
move?
Well, let's see if you can play through the last few moves of the game and you'll see it, hopefully. Kind of nice exercise because now you have to figure out where the tactic is.
Oh, the pin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be 2. But okay, he had 3 seconds. So it's tough. But yeah, bishop b3 there would have been GG. Yeah. So that's why I was thinking white is still better because this threat of bishop b3 is actually really hard to stop anyway. White's queen and bishop are going to be really strong together.
Gotcha. Cool. Let's see. Oh, if anyone in chat wants to play, by the way, there's the link. Oh, Steve North is playing. Let's go see one of Steve's North. He's playing a sad cat.
All right, let's check out Steve.
All right, we have. I think
Steve doesn't like Blitz,
No, Steve hates Blitz.
but plays it anyway. because we are all addicts.
Exactly.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Steve. All right, so who's better?
Black.
Oh, why?
Better pawns. An extra piece.
Extra piece. Okay, yeah, very important. Extra piece is big.
Let's see here.
What would be your plan as black?
Let me flip the board. My plan as black would be to trade everything until there's one piece left. But if we want to
Trade is good. Yeah, let's talk about the advantages, right? Like if you're up material, you should just trading is like one of the number one easy ways to win the game. Just trade. Win the end game, very easy. I mean, people resign once you get to the end game because it's just like hopeless, right? Once you lose the queen.
Right.
So trading is good. If you have more active pieces, then you should be, attacking, right? Or if you have the safer king, you should be playing for the attack. And if you have a better structure, you should be just putting pressure on the pawns and trying to improve your pieces.
Uh-huh.
But here we're up a lot of material, so all we need to do is just trade and get to the end game. But okay, black also has this very strong d pawn now. It's trying to push that. A6, I think, is just a move that says, I have 13 seconds, so I'm just going to make the first move I see. Because black didn't know what else to do. But now, okay, rook c2, we're back on track. Yeah, queen d6 earlier was good.
That was good.
Okay, now king e6. I feel like kings don't really need to be so active, but black's queen needs to be active. I don't know what the king is doing.
Black's queen. The king is just there. It's just like, let's party.
84. Okay, so that was actually a very bad move because white had queen f4 check.
Right.
It was winning the knight, but anyway. Finally, black activates the queen. That's good. Now should be winning. Yeah.
Well.
Okay, going after the pawns. This to me just shows absolute panic. Yeah, there we go. That's better. That's better. Good mate.
It's easier to checkmate when you have the two pieces on the board,
Yeah. All right, who's next?
Let's go to Amanda. Amanda versus Omelet.
All right. Okay.
Was that a good move? Okay, that was not the worst thing ever. That was ooh, wait, whoa, what was that? Oh, I dropped the knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Pawn. Yeah. There you go.
Okay, rook d2 is good, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get some activity.
Yeah, and there's always the threat after. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to defend. Oh,
that's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But in spirit, a good move.
In spirit, it's a good move.
Well, it's the right thing you want to do. You want to activate your pieces. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work tactically.
Right.
It's a big problem.
good defensive find. I mean, it's as good as it's gonna get.
Queen d8, yeah, actually, by far the best move. Very nice. Kind of minimizing the losses. Though it does the one thing white wanted to do in the position. Oh, I guess white didn't want it, but white can and should have traded queens.
Right.
There's extra piece, and then knight can hop into d6 and easy. White controls everything.
Okay. All right. That's a pin. It's actually really good.
Yeah, still in the game.
I mean, I would just get my rook into safety. Okay. She wants it.
Yeah, I like f5.
5 is good.
After the knight. And if white doesn't know about en passant here, it could be a very tricky moment.
And if white does know about it, as black, I would just report them to chess.com for cheating.
See, white doesn't. I think white doesn't know about en passant.
Just take.
I think
just,
a lot
just
of
take the
players
knight. Take the knight.
Yeah.
All right, now we have a game.
Now black is okay. Could have even taken on f2, by the way, with the rook. Yeah, with check before taking the queen. Okay, takes this way. I would have taken with the second rook, so you can come down with both rooks. That would have been very active.
That's what I would have done as well.
Here, the rook on the 8th rank has a harder time getting into the game.
Though.
Yeah, rook f5. Very good move.
Push. G5, right?
Yeah, just rook takes e5. Actually, I like that. It's very practical. Just taking the pawn first.
Then defending. Good.
And also defending the d pawn.
I don't love that.
Yeah, that's not great.
G5 though.
But gets rook takes b2. Okay, so now we're
I would go G5.
kind of trading down.
No longer go G5. Do that.
Pawn down.
Oh,
No,
you're
anything
good. You're
can
good.
still
You're
happen.
good. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. This is a.
Yeah, rook behind the pawn is very good defense. Because notice, like, both of white's pawns under attack. This is the best place for the rook because it leaves both of white's pieces passive. Now black actually needs to just chill here because it's very hard for white to move anything
There it is.
without losing something. So Amanda's trying to be active, but none of this was actually necessary. And now she needs to be careful that her king isn't going to be too passive here, but she's just in time. Although I think white still has decent chances here. Sometimes these get pretty tough. Yeah, actually this is possibly very bad, but I'm not sure if white's gonna figure it out. Very instructive endgame though. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at this one because this I think is a really instructive one. So let's go back a couple moves. So white got the king in on h7.
Yeah.
Let's just go to the first moment that happened.
Okay. I'm here.
Yeah, so white played this very good, like with the active king.
Right.
And now I think Amanda should have actually stayed in the corner, but we'll go back. We'll look at, well, actually, let's look at that first. Let's say instead of king f8, king h8. Actually, no, we'll look at that second. Let's look at this first. So king h7, king is on f8, right?
Yeah.
So black goes
it moves up,
king f7.
It moved up to. Yep.
Yeah, now instead of king h8, white has a much better move.
I think they just push G5.
Just g5.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, okay. The way you said it was like just G5. Are you sure about that, Scott? You sure about that? Yeah, no. So what I was thinking was G5. If they trade, you you push the pawn, and I think black has to go all the way around, and you're in front of the check, so you don't need to worry about that. Right?
Well, yeah, you're just getting g6, and so on g5, black takes, you take. Black plays king f8.
Sorry, yeah.
Then you push g6.
G6, and now they have to go around.
And now black has to lose the pawn.
Right.
Right, you're just taking the g pawn next. And promoting. So black needed to just push this g pawn. And it would have been white needed to push the g pawn. And it would have been game over.
Right. So there.
Now let's go back a move to see how black could have drawn. So let's play king. Let's put the king back on f8.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, if black had pushed g5 themselves, then black is actually holding that.
Really?
Yeah, because white is going to take on g5, black will recapture. And then when white's king takes on g5, black will need to be ready to play king g7 and take the opposition. And then that's a drawn endgame because black gets the opposition. Remember, you practiced this one with Charlie.
Yeah.
You get the opposition as a defender, you hold.
Mm-hmm.
So g5, just like punting the pawn.
Okay.
But let's see the other way. Let's go back a move. Or move each. So instead of king f8. Yeah, so king g8, white pushed g4. That was good. And now instead of king f8, let's say we played king h8 to the corner.
Okay. We're there.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's say white does the same thing. Goes king f7. Then again, black can play g5, but... Wait, I'm sorry. No, g5 wasn't working because white just goes h5.
Mm-hmm.
And then keeps 2 pawns. And then white wins because white wins both pawns.
Right.
So instead, let's say king h8, king f7. Black goes king h7.
Okay.
Now let's say white plays g5.
Wait. So where's white? I'm sorry. White.
So black goes king h8 here. Yeah.
Okay.
White plays king f7.
Okay.
King h7. King h7. Yeah.
It's there. Sorry.
And now white goes g5. Yeah.
Okay. And you have to trade. Okay.
HG, HG, and now king h8.
HG, what? Okay.
We traded.
Oh, yeah, we traded. King h8.
King h8. Very important move. And now let's say white pushes g6.
Stalemate.
Stalemate. So, king belongs on h8 in these endgames because you give yourself better stalemate chances. Whereas a king on f8 ended up getting boxed out, and white was able to win, or would be able to win the g pawn.
Okay, good to know.
So, instructive endgame. Hopefully everyone was paying attention. There will be a test on this later.
Let's see here. All right, Mishiko is playing Wonder Omelet. Both roughly 700. Let's see.
All right, Michiko. Probably playing in the sub battle.
What happened?
And I said probably playing in the sub battle.
They are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see how she's doing. Okay, so who do you like?
White. White has more space. That's kind of it.
Space advantage. Okay, so small advantage for white, but really nice position. Kind of better center.
That being said, I mean they both have one bad bishop. Oh. But
wait, why is black's bishop bad?
Well, I guess it's blocked in right now. That's kind of the only reason. It could be unblocked at any second.
Yeah, when it's blocked by a piece, it's not such a big deal.
Okay.
Because the knight can move at any moment.
That was a neat little. And then we trade.
Yeah, this was good for white.
Oh.
Another tempo.
Wow. That's good. Let's see here.
All right, won the exchange. Oh. Oh, black missed something there. Do you see it?
Let's see. Here. Yeah, they could have taken that pawn.
Yeah.
And again.
That looks like they're repeating moves.
They're about to draw.
Oh, no draw. Oh, very nice move, King H2. So getting out of Bishop C5, that was the problem. That was what Michiko was trying to avoid. Also defending the pawn, so that's good. Right now, F4.
Yeah, I like F4. Solid move. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, it's still a solid move. No.
Black could have taken the E4.
Could have taken.
But,
Yeah, they could have taken.
But then there's rook D4. Actually, remember it's the same tactic we saw, like rook on D3 earlier. Rook on D4 would have been a nice double attack. And I think white wins the piece.
Nope, not sure that. Not sure what happened there.
We got the queen. Nice. Nice double attack. All right, now Michiko should convert this one.
Mm-hmm. Simple.
All right, Scott. I think I'm gonna run.
All right. Thanks for joining me.
12:30 here.
Oh yeah, forgot you're not on the West Coast currently. All right, enjoy your time, and
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. Just coast you.
Yeah, stream is still going on.
Yeah.
But just a reminder, guys, if you want to play our sub battle, we're still looking for players. I'm gonna post players who sign up tomorrow, and then the sub battle is gonna be on Sunday. So make sure to register if you're available. We still need some players.
All right. Thank you. And How many? Do you know how many people you have registered already, or no?
We got like 6 to 8 or something. We need a few more.
Yeah.
Right, man.
All right,
This was
man.
fun. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Appreciate the lesson, the impromptu lesson. All right, take care.
Absolutely.
See
Yep.
Bye. All right. But we're still staying on. It's just Kostya is hopping off for right now. Let me get everything back. Give me a second, everyone. Alright, well, sorry I haven't been paying attention to chat as much as I usually do. Because he was putting me, not through the ringer, but, you know, definitely, working me out a little bit. Charlie, how you doing? You have full internet now? What's the deal? Amanda, you quit chess forever? It's sad. Charlie is available for commentating. You've quit Blitz? Not bad. Daster, I swear, how long did it take you to figure that out? How long did that joke take you? Aikido, hi, how's it going? Come on, Amanda, that was a good pun. That was a good one. He finally had a good one, you know? Don't lie. Don't lie. You've been writing that one for months. You heard that Charlie was going to Dubai, you wrote that. Excuse me. Scroll back. Let me ask you this: if I scroll back, are you gonna end up getting banned or something? Oh. Deves Warrock, thank you for the follow. Daredevil, thank you for the follow. Punglet, thank you for the follow. Appreciate everyone being here. Oh man, I'm tired. We have bullet right after this. Oh, it's 1+1, I believe, or it's just a standard 1 minute. I forget. And it's what was I gonna say? It's also unrated for the kids, you know. That's 1+1. Ooh, my God, excuse me. That was very, very rude of me. Just yawning without covering my mouth. I apologize. Hey, you've had the stream Falcon? Like that's usually a fair thing to say, Charlie. But honestly, let's be honest. I'm only gonna hurt people with my comments. I don't have the engine on or anything, so it's not like that's gonna make a difference. Just so you know. Wow. Damn. A lot of people do, Charlie. I don't. I've been in the same relationship since before Tinder. MySpace. There you go. You go for it. Bet you do have a MySpace. Probably. Oh, 1 minute left, everyone. Charlie's MySpace. Do you have your music on there, Charlie? You have to have your music on there. Oh, we're next game. That's a different version of a tweet, Amanda. I'm not funny. All right. Well, congratulations to the winners. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, congratulations to the winners, and thank you everyone for playing. We're all winners because we played. Well, you guys played. I didn't. I just won in different ways. I got a quick lesson with Kosha, which was awesome. Always love those. All right, the Chess Falcon. Congrats on first place. Ignorant, congrats on second, and Bob Nostum, thank you, and congratulations on third. We have 10 minutes. Hold on. We have another thing coming up in 10 minutes. Exclamation mark play. We have a bullet arena. Now it's only going to be for 30 minutes because I have not been sleeping. Excuse me. As you can tell, I've literally been yawning. I have not been sleeping very much with a new baby in the house, barely 2 weeks old. And I'm gonna fix Moobot really quick while I'm talking, so I'm not reading chat. And my bigger baby has been getting a little bit jealous, so he requires a little bit more attention and has been waking up super early just to have some alone time without the baby. All right. Nah, Steve, you're doing this. You're doing this. Daster, I'm tired. All right. you have, oof, no idea. No, Amanda, stay. Play some bullet. Make some bad decisions. That's what this is about. Literally. It's called Dojo Friday Night Fights Bullet. What's one more bad decision? That's what the bullet is called. You're retired? Oh, you quit chess. I forgot. I'm sorry. I quickly read that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Everyone must play a bullet. It's never too late to make another bad decision. But yeah, it's starting in about 7.5 minutes. No, it's 1 minute plus 1 second. Yeah, it's oh. It's you just move as fast as you can in no time. There you go. At some point this weekend, I will be streaming just a session of me playing some Rapid, I think. I'm going to try doing that. If anyone wants to join me, let me know. Happy to do that. I love having people on with me. But yeah, I just want to play a little bit. Some getting some Rapid practice and all that. I need more. If I stream, I'm more likely to do it. And though I have very little time, I'm sure I can convince my wife to let me. Hey, Steve North, that sounds great. Steve, that reminds me. Did you ever figure out what the next like King's Gambit ordeal, like, tournament style that you want to do, like with what opening? Yeah, Amanda, that'd be great. We can do that. No, I was waiting to hear from you, Steve, to tell me which one you wanted to do. Like, there you go. That's funny. So we're gonna say Stafford Gambit. Not a thing. It's not real. Are you a believer? Stafford Gambit is not. Stafford Gambit isn't a real opening. I mean, it is, but it's not a good one. Uh, I've committed way too much time into learning how to defeat the Stafford Gambit because how often people try playing it. It annoys me. What are you talking about? Wait, what are you talking about, Steve North? D4, D5, C4. Isn't this the Queen's Gambit? Accepted? You don't accept the Queen's Gambit, I thought. No, the Queen's Gambit's a real opening. Like, that's not one that's up for debate. Got you. There you go. All right. If that's all you want to do, have fun. Italian, real or hoax? Alright, hold on. E4, E5, D4. E takes this one, the Danish Gambit? Takes on C3. So yeah, I don't know if this is like the same level as King's Gambit or the Stafford Gambit. Like, this is a real opening and it's not bad. And in my opinion, I could be very wrong. You obviously don't go there. I was just pushing arrows. But yeah. But anyway, everyone, it's more legit. You're just giving up a pawn for Super Knight. I might, honestly. Thank you, Steve. I might, but honestly, I don't know. I'm pretty tired. I kind of just want to. I'm streaming because I like hang out with you all, but I just want to go read a book right now. Avocado Feline. That's Coach's second account, everyone. Oh my god. No, I wish. No, it's a chess book. That's all I'm gonna be reading. Read chess. Bullet started. All right, everyone, it started. Boom. There we go. Plus, I'm not a challenge in Bullet. Like, these, I don't even see what these people are doing. I'm so slow. Take. Sure, go for it. Take everything. Interesting. Oof. Rough. Oh, Avocado Film, that was a sub. Thank you for the sub. And hi. How are you? What are you up to this evening? Just so you know, one of our international masters that runs the channel loves avocados. All right, yeah, just loves them. Can't get enough of them. He's a millennial, as they say. was a nifty little move. Oh no. Oh no. Well, there we are. Samuel, I'll be careful with Mishiko. No joke over there. Woo, look at this. Take first. Oh, take a check. Right? Was this a move? Here? Oh, you couldn't take because it was pinned. There you go, Chess Falcon. Who won this one? Oh, why not? I'll play one. Oh no. Should have probably won that. I moved backwards with my king. I should have moved forward. I'm an idiot. Oh well. GG's. What did I do? That was a mistake. I know, we'll go there. I'll just go there. There. Cool. Did you? Yeah, it's cool, Samuel. It's cool. I'm not very good, so don't even worry about it. I'm awful. Yeah, I am. Yeah, you cut off. I'm sorry, Michiko. I was wondering why you weren't moving. Hey, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Hello. Let me give you a quick shout out. How are you doing tonight? Do so. Oh nope, misspelled it. Sorry. So there it is. Much appreciated. Thank you. Sure, we'll just go there, I guess. There you go. There you go. Good job, Steve North. So it looks like you were playing chess. Now Naomi or now. I'm sorry if you can tell me how to say your name. That'd be great. Tell me a little bit about your stream. What are you about? GG. GG. Ah, damn it, I love dumplings. What kind of dumplings were they? Alright, I'm done. I'm done with this. Oh, GG Avocado. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. Oh, okay. I said, yeah. Let me know when they're on. I said, let me know when you have them on. Super bready vegetable. All right. Are they homemade, or did you buy them at a store, or what's the deal? An avocado. If you hear me, I said, thank you for playing. It's GG. Much appreciated. We have everyone. We have 11 minutes left on this. So there it is. Okay, now we're good. I said thank you for playing. And yeah, GG's. That was fun. Time is. Oh man, I'm with you. I'm with you, feline. I'm awful with time. 11 minutes left, Taster, until this arena is over. Samuel, that store bought. All right. Well, never mind. I was gonna ask. I'll just tell you, Trader Joe's actually has good vegetable ones. Their chicken one not so good, but apparently they're the most popular. And I don't know where you live, but yeah. What's really good at Trader Joe's, they have a chow mein ordeal. Oh man, I recommend that. But I recommend cooking like a packet of regular ramen, like dried ramen stuff, and eating that with it, and like mixing it along. Tonight I made pasta carbonara. Not enough pepper, black pepper. I had an accident with my black pepper grinder, so I couldn't use it. It's very sad. But I highly recommend it. You don't like pork, Dastard? Pork is one of my favorite meats. Yeah, I mean they have to be well. They have to be done well. I love dumplings. I mean, my wife is Chinese, well, American-born Chinese, and her mom makes fresh like dumplings, and they're super good. Super good. I'm from. I grew up in Argentina, and we eat empanadas, which are essentially dumplings, just deep fried. I didn't know you stopped eating meat. Steve North. I was playing a little bit. I'm done for now. I'm tired. I'm done. I Hey, floating sardines. Thank you for the follow. Devesh, yeah, I played a couple of games, but if you're looking to play like someone that's actually good at chess, I don't recommend playing me. Wow. But that's like when you say bacon, do you what kind like tell me about bacon? Cuz what's bacon like where you live? Cuz bacon in the United States is incredible. I I like fish. I like fish a lot. Fish is yummy. bacon is terrible. Sam, it happens sometimes. It's not really us. It's chess.com. Like sometimes, like even if you hit next, like it just searches forever. Hey, Super Knight, if you join this, this thing, I might play you. I'm looking at your rating right now. You're higher rated than me. I'm not very good at Bullet. I'm not very good, period, and Bullet is just super stressful. And I'm not very good at it. I personally like bacon, but that's just me. I like to cook it in the oven. Let all the fat melt off. But that's just me. It's not for everyone. What do you need me to delete? Hey Michiko, I know I said hi earlier. I don't know if you heard me, but hi, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you for playing today, by the way, and thank you for just being here. Love to catch up one day. It's been a while since we've had a chance to talk or anything. Double Pawn, thank you for the 50 bits, and yes, bacon is awesome in my opinion. Okay, floating sardines. So, I've had bacon like in other countries, and it's not the same. It's not really hard to make. Like they're not really difficult ingredient. It's not a difficult ingredient to get, but it's just the U.S. has a tradition of it. I enjoy it. I don't eat it every day. It's a treat. I think I last had it 3 months ago. I'm gonna have it tomorrow. That's it, and then I won't have it for probably another 6 months after that. Now there are people that eat it every day. Fun. Go there. Go there. There. Now you're broadcasting it. Nice. Nice. There it is. The tricks. Daster, it depends on what you're looking at. Super Knight, was that you? Was that you that we were just looking at? That was an unexpected twist. You had everything, but you fell for the back. You gotta take care of that. You gotta do that little what do you call it? The pulling up one of your pawns to give an escape square. 1 minute left, everyone. 1 minute left. It happens to me all the time. I get checkmated like that. I think the other day I was playing Bullet, and I was moving my pieces too fast. It was like and I was tilted too. And I fell for the Scholar's Mate, and even before he did the move, I just resigned. I just didn't even like. I just forget this. I'm done. Literally, resigned. Just because I moved too fast, and after I moved, I saw what he did, and I was like, well, that's it. It was fun. It was fun. Steve, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Really appreciate you being here. I don't know what that was about. All right. Sad Cat, congratulations. Samuel Baltz, congratulations. And Devish Warrock, congratulations. But GG's, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. I know. Almost there, chess numbers. Thank you all for being here tonight. I appreciate the support. Appreciate everyone playing. And yeah, we'll do this again next Friday night. We'll do this again next Friday night. What else was I gonna say? And I plan on streaming randomly at some point this week with just me playing a couple of games on stream. Like rapid games. But yeah. Daya Kumar, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So there you go, Daster. What does anyone have a channel they can think to raid? Benjamin Bach is streaming. Let me see. We'll just do Benjamin Bach. Alright, everyone. Thank you. And have a good one.
Is he miss tactic for you? No. Let's go for D6. I'll try to give you a game. But yeah, guys, I don't know how much longer we'll keep going.
Nice.
Good
Enjoy
knight
that.
of 4, knight of 6.